She thought she was feeding a stranger, but fate was quietly feeding her future. In the heart of Lagos, Nigeria, where the streets never sleep and dreams mix with dust, lived a young woman named Amara Okafor. Every morning before dawn, she woke up in her small one-room apartment, swept the floor, fetched water, and prepared pap and akara for breakfast. She was a tailor, humble yet gifted. Her little shop sat between a hair salon and a phone repair stall on Balogun Street. As she sewed, she hummed her mother's old song. Her mother had passed away 3 years earlier, but her voice still lived in Amara's memory. "My daughter, never stop giving. Even a small kindness can open a great door." Every morning, Amara packed an extra food container before heading to work, just in case, she'd say. She didn't know that one meal would one day change her destiny. That afternoon, the heat was heavy. The sky looked tired. Amara had been working since morning and decided to go to the market. On her way back, she noticed an old woman sitting by the roadside. Her wrapper was faded, her face was lined with years of struggle. Beside her sat a torn nylon bag filled with a few oranges. Amara slowed her steps. "Good afternoon, Mama," she said gently. The old woman looked up, her eyes weak but kind. "Good afternoon, my daughter." Amara frowned. "Have you eaten today?" The woman shook her head. "Not yet, my child. I was hoping to sell these oranges first." Amara hesitated for a second, then smiled. She reached into her bag and brought out her extra food container. "Mama, please eat these." The old woman blinked in surprise. "No, I cannot take your food." Amara laughed softly. "Please, Mama, it's already yours." The old woman's hands trembled as she took it. When she was done, she looked at Amara and said, "May the road you walk on never close for you. Your kindness will find you again, my daughter." Amara smiled shyly and waved goodbye, not knowing those words were a prophecy. Days passed, then weeks. Amara continued her work, sewing uniforms, dresses, and head wraps for her loyal customers. But life wasn't easy. Rent was due, threads ran out, her sewing machine sometimes refused to start. Still, she smiled through it all. Her friend Chica, who ran the hair salon next door, often teased her. "Nah, smile you go use pay rent." They would laugh together, even when things were tough. On Sundays, Amara found peace in church. After service, she often sat under the big mango tree outside, chatting and sharing snacks. It was on one of those Sundays that love walked into her life. A young man named Tunde Adebayo approached her after service. Tall, calm, and respectful. "Excuse me," he said, smiling. "You're the tailor who made Sister Ruth's dress, right?" Amara nodded, surprised. "Yes, how did you know?" "He told me about your designs. I think you're really talented." Amara laughed shyly. "Thank you." That was the beginning of something beautiful. They became friends, then close friends, then something deeper. Tunde would stop by her shop with snacks or help her carry heavy fabrics. Sometimes they would sit by the roadside at sunset, talking about dreams and life. One rainy evening, under a small umbrella, Tunde looked into her eyes and said softly, "Amara, I've been praying, and the answer keeps leading me to you." She gasped, heart racing. You mean? He smiled. Yes, I want to build a future with you. Amara was quiet. But I'm just a tailor. Will your family accept me? Tunde took her hand gently. My mother always said, a good heart is worth more than gold. She'll love you. Weeks passed. One morning, Tunde called her. Amara, my mother wants to meet you. Amara almost dropped her phone. The whole week she couldn't sleep. She cleaned her room twice. She ironed her best Ankara dress 3 times. She even cooked her special jollof rice and pepper soup to bring as a gift. Her friend Chika teased her again. Our tailor is now a wife material. They would laugh together, even when things were tough. Sunday afternoon, Tunde picked her up. The car rolled through the busy streets of Surulere. Amara stared out the window, clutching her food tray. Her heart was pounding. What if his mother doesn't like me? What if I say the wrong thing? Finally, they stopped before a cream-colored house with flowering plants by the gate. Tunde smiled. We're here. They stepped into the living room, and then Amara froze. Sitting on the sofa, wearing a bright wrapper and a gentle smile, was the same old woman she had fed weeks ago. Her mouth fell open. Mama, it's you. The old woman looked up, eyes wide. Then tears filled them. My child, you are the one who fed me that day. Tunde looked between them, confused. Wait, what's going on? Mama explained everything. How she had felt dizzy after her hospital visit, how she had sat by the roadside, and how a kind young woman had shared her food. Amara stood there, tears in her eyes. I didn't even know who you were, Mama. I just wanted to help. Mama took her hands gently. My daughter, that day I prayed for you. I asked God to reward your kindness. I never knew He would bring you into my family. Tunde was speechless. Then he smiled. So the woman who helped my mother is the woman I fell in love with. The room erupted in laughter and hugs. Months later, Lagos celebrated love. It was Amara and Tunde's wedding day. The church was full, family, friends, laughter, music, and the smell of jollof rice and suya. During the reception, Mama Adebayo stood up and spoke. In this big city, people rush past one another every day. But my daughter Amara stopped for a stranger. She didn't know who that stranger was. Her destiny, her kindness brought her home. The crowd clapped, some wiping tears. Amara smiled through her veil, her heart overflowing. Later that night, as the stars shimmered above Lagos, Nigeria, Amara leaned on her husband's shoulder. Do you think people will tell our story someday? She asked. Tunde smiled. They already are. Every time someone chooses kindness over fear, they tell your story again.